Hey everyone, Rachel here. Wanted to just create a little update video for you, and I am in a bit of a flare up, so I'm going to do it from bed, hence this beautiful background that you are seeing. And yeah, thanks for joining me in a world where we don't have to stop being involved, we adapt as best we can. It is August 2021 right now, and things in the world are continuing to be very intense on a number of levels for, I think, most people, to varying degrees. I wanted to hop on and make an update just about what's happening with Index for the Next World and my client work and some really cool opportunities that are coming up. So, Index for the Next World um, initially was conceived as this basically searchable index of visions and stories for a thriving, just world for humans and ecology that are immersive. So they sort of bring us into it in the now rather than in a far off utopian future. And we published, I say we, it's mostly been me with some amazing outside contract help from other folks. But our first issue last year in 2020 of writings and art and recordings from visionaries doing that next world visioning work. And all of those pieces have been cataloged. So you can go to the indexforthenextworld.com website and search by tag or read the issue as a thing unto itself. That said, I was looking at doing another issue this year, and between the challenges of the pandemic and of my health, and I've been traveling, not on the road, but rather I spent half a year living in a new place, or an old place rather, with family, which was really wonderful. But between all of those things and the reality of managing a literary publication and going through submissions, it's just not actually feasible for me to do it that way. So, the new iteration that we're going to be testing out with a small group in the coming weeks is to actually have each publication be cohort based. So, what that would mean is that the each issue, so say we were doing a yearly issue of new pieces along a theme, new pieces of writing and art and recording and theater and all kinds of hybrid work, that we would have, for example, a monthly retreat slash workshop with a cohort of people who are the same over a number of months, and the same people. And we might have some guest facilitators. We might rotate through everyone in the workshop, also getting a chance to share prompts, co-create, collaborate, produce work along a theme, and then collectively put the issue together and publish it online. And eventually, if there's budget, potentially also publish a physical thing, but that will be sort of in the long vision. So this is a new iteration of the Index for the Next World that still populates the index itself with beautiful writing, art, all of these things, searchable by tag, open to the public. But it allows it to be self-funded. There'll be a sliding scale for those workshops, and it allows a sense of collective and collaborative work to happen in the creation of the issue, which is something that I really long for. It allows us to create work together, to cross disciplines or combine them, and to have a little bit more of that next world experience as a collective as we're creating the thing. It also makes it more accessible for me to do it that way, and more delightful to be in connection with other people. So that's some really exciting news. Other news, as you may know, I am doing one-on-one client design process coaching and facilitation. So if you have a big question in your life, or you feel like you're burnt out and experiencing a life crisis or anything of that nature, go to racheleconomy.com and you can set up an initial free call with me and we can chat about it. I would love to talk to you, even if we just have the free call. It's just work that I'm loving doing. It's something that I can do even when I don't feel well. And so I really want you to take me up on that free call. It's not a sales pitch. this is genuinely something I want to do. Hi, Juniper. The dog has come to say hi. Yeah, you have very noisy toenails. So those are two major updates. I'm doing client work and loving it, and I would love to connect with you, even if you're not sure what your design question is, especially if you're not sure what your design question is. Get at me and let's figure that out together. Or maybe you want to work with me to figure out what your big question is right now. That's great too. It's different than regular life coaching. I use a specific set of tools and processes, although I'm always adding more. I have a background in design thinking, education, facilitation. So it's really a container process that allows you to do those things with me. I'm not doing it for you, but I'm also not just making you do it all yourself. And it's been really lovely. I'm really excited to do more of it. So those are the two major updates. The other one is I've got an album out. You can listen to my poetry. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. Check it out. It's called Poems for the End of the World by Rachel Economy. And let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you about that. Last big update, September 1st, I'm teaching a free workshop on disability and design thinking. It's centered on people who identify as disabled or chronically ill in any way that includes mental health, that includes undiagnosed people. So if you're not sure if it includes you, it probably does. You're welcome, if you don't identify with those categories, to come, but the workshop will not be focused on you. So the invitation in that case is to sort of participate a little more quietly or a little more in the background. You can still do all the activities, but that the volunteers and the questions that will be centered in the time will primarily be people who identify in those ways or who wish that they identified in those ways but feel like they're not allowed to. This is a really great space for you. I don't mean wish that they had certain things. I mean that they feel like, if you feel like you really need that community but you've been reluctant to feel like you count, come on in. So that is also linked on racheleconomy.com. If you go to the workshops and classes and events page, it's free, September 1st, and check the event listing against your time zone, because there's so many different people in so many time zones that may be watching this that I don't want to say a specific time and then have your calendar get confused. So those are the four main updates. Index for the Next World, we're testing out this cohort model, and there will be more information soon. If you submitted to the issue and I haven't responded, I apologize. It's been a wild year, as I think you know, and I will circle back with those folks and invite you once this cohort model is running. I'm doing client work. I'm loving it. I have slots open. I have free calls open. If you're asking big how do I questions or having big I'll never burnout moments, reach out to me. And if you're an organization, I am piloting my work with organizations right now, doing professional development and design thinking facilitation for organizations, particularly those that are really struggling to bring their internal activities or sort of employee ecosystem into alignment with their external mission and values. But I'm also open to working with startups, folks who really just need a creative design thinking facilitator to move groups through that process or to train groups in that process. So you can reach out to me at racheleconomy.com as well for that. The dog is now asleep on me. So those are two things. The cohort is coming. Client work is happening. What was the third thing? This is a real-time example of brain fog in which I completely forget what I just said to you. Oh, the album, Poems for the End of the World, is out from Rachel Economy, and I would love for you to give it a listen. And this free workshop is coming up, Design Thinking and Disability, on September 1st. It's through Speakeasy. You can find it at racheleconomy.com on the classes and events page. And as always, I'd love to hear from you. You can click through on this video if you're reading it from the newsletter, and you'll be on my YouTube channel, where you can watch other videos for free about design thinking, permaculture, disability, access, visionary futures, skills, all sorts of things that fall under this purpose of imagining, designing, and creating the next world now. Thanks for joining. Happy August. I hope you're safe and well as can be in these times. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.